Good morning. Jumper and body warmer on today. Although it's going to be a nice day, it's just it starts off a bit chilly. Can't beat a bit of autumn. Anyway, we are off to early morning sessions. So we have Tai Chi, we have a higher intensity session, whether online or in person. So you can make it as personal or as convenient as you like. So, I wanted to talk about something as I think there's a few things that's come about in the last few weeks or so with going back to work, offices, schools, etc. There's number one, there's snacks, cakes, biscuits back around, more temptations. Although you could say there's more temptations at home, but everyone's a bit different. So you've got this coming back in a bit more fast paced again. Sometimes you might be a bit more tired than you were, maybe less sleep than you had before. Then you've got all this in one, and all it takes sometimes is a bad, and I say bad, but I say perceived bad result on a scale, for example, for it to knock us a bit, knock our confidence. And it is a bit like, there's memes that go around sometimes that say, half a pound goes on, I'm rubbish, I'm a failure, I can't do this. Half a pound goes off, and you think, it's only half a pound, the scales must be broke. I get this a lot, actually. I lost half a pound, that's nothing. I put on half a pound, it's like, I've put on half a pound, oh my. And this is genuine, I get it. We have a very emotional relationship with the scales. Just need to shuffle my bag, hang on. Shuffle my bag up, that's better. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because right there and then in that moment, is it true that all your hard work hasn't paid off and it's a waste of time? Because that's what state we get in. Can you be 100% sure that that's true? Consider that. If the answer's no, then you've got to stop right there and just think about the next step that you can do to get where you want to be, and just take one step. Morning, Tanya. Because it's quite easy to fall into that trap, and then that dictates your next step. Then your next step actually dictates your next result, and then you can actually build momentum in perhaps negative habits, because all of a sudden one negative habit loops into the second, to the third, to the fourth. And this is where I'm going to touch on a little bit with snacking now, but how to get back into it. So I spoke the other day about, I'm seeing camper vans everywhere, and I spoke the other day about triggers and how you can use triggers to help you make better choices, whether that's snacking less, whether that's getting more exercise in. And it's like one of the ladies this week, and she shared her post actually, which is awesome, and she's put little triggers around their house, little messages, whether it being exercise, whether it being kind of little reminders of what she wants to achieve. A few of the ladies have done it, and it sounds really bizarre, and it does sound like a bit bonkers, and I do get that, but we're triggered by stuff every day, like whether it's the media, the news, Brexit. I might have just said that word Brexit, and you could have already felt a bit like, well, like for some people, like people get frustrated, whatever way someone is. So it's interesting, we're triggered by words, but then when we use them in a positive way, it seems a bit like, that won't work for me. And all I'd say is just to try it, whether you have a little benefit card written on your fridge in the front door, whether you have a rule where you say, I don't eat after 8 p.m. Just kitchen shut at 8 p.m. You just shut the kitchen, maybe do a dance, put in your favourite song at 8 p.m, do a dance, and that signals the end of the kitchen, the end of the kitchen for the night. These sound really bonkers, but sometimes we don't take the first step because we worry about what's going to happen in 3 months, 6 months, 2 months, when it's even darker. It is actually dark. I've got my light on my phone on. It is darker. We sometimes worry about what's going to happen then. Will I be able to do it then? And it almost falls into the trap of, because I'm not sure I can do it in a month, I don't know if I want to do it now. But actually, if we do it now, we can build enough momentum. By the time we've got to where we need to be in a month, and that problem that we perceived as a problem comes, we're actually a different person with different habits, which is exciting. And this, need to shuffle my jumper again. And this then leads me to snacking. So I've had a few questions this week about food being in the offices again, biscuits out, people just bringing in food, cakes, stuff like that. And one of the good things, I guess, is that you have to wear a mask in the staff room. And so one of the ladies actually said that that's been a positive. For others, though, it could just be home office, for example, stress, going into the kitchen, all these things. And firstly, I just want to say, going back to basics with this, is we can fall into a very easy cycle here of skipping meals or snacking because we don't have time to eat. And all I'll say is I get that, I've done it before, I'm not just saying this. I've just looked around the kitchen, walked around the kitchen for 20 minutes, going, I'll just have a little bit. So I'll have a piece of fruit. I know I'm still a little bit hungry, I'll have a bit of yoghurt. I'm still a little bit hungry, let's have a bit of cheese. Still a little bit hungry, let's see what else we got, let's have some olives. And these are all healthy things, and I'm saying this because, you know, my intentions are good. All of a sudden, I've just been standing up, walking around the kitchen. I've eaten about 600 calories. I could have just had a really nice meal and sat down and enjoyed it. Rather, I'm just picking on the go. Mind's elsewhere. And that's my first thing, is to, if you're struggling with snacking, comfort eating, organise structured meals. And it sounds really obvious, but if you're then starving in the evening because you've been go all day, you overeat in the evening, high blood sugar levels may impact your sleep. You wake up, you're not hungry because you ate quite a lot the night before. So then you starve again in the day, and then again the cycle happens. So it might be that we need to get some more protein in the day, whether that's at breakfast, whether that's at lunch, just to space it out a bit more, so that we can be sure that it's not physiological hunger that you're having, okay? And I get it, sometimes at work we struggle to do it. There is quicker stuff you can make, whether it's taking some eggs with you, boiled eggs, or protein shake, or protein bar, or even some yogurt and fruit, but just sat down and actually having it, rather than kind of grabbing whatever's there, because it's nothing to do with real willpower, like your willpower. We often blame our willpower. I have no willpower. I see a cake in the office and I just go, I want it. Really, if you think about it, when we're tired, if we're stressed, if we're busy, and we see food, it's going to be a lot harder to make a healthy choice. It's just the way it is. If you've got a bit of hunger coming on, you haven't got anything organised either, in your head you're thinking, I haven't got anything, I might as well have this. It's nothing to do with your willpower. More to do with how can I plan, how can I organise this a little bit better, and I'm guilty of this too. But actually, when we say we don't have time, just as inconvenient foods, or if you like, or convenience foods, are everywhere, there's also a lot of healthy foods everywhere at the moment. And it's about, okay, can I organise those meals in, so make sure I have 3 meals or 2 meals even, where I sit down and actually enjoy it a bit, rather than just pick around and snack, because it takes the same time. We're going to have to make decisions about food anyway. So we might as well make decisions that are going to give us more energy, because we're so tired. Let's say we're tired, lacking time. Eating certain foods probably isn't going to help with that. It's not going to give us the nutrients we need, and it's that vicious cycle. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Then you've got water intake. How can you couple that in there? How can you couple more water in there? So it could be that you get more water in by having a glass of water before each meal. That's something I do. I get up in the morning, I have a glass of water, then I have one before each meal. By default then, even if I forget, which I don't, because I also have it before I have a coffee, that then adds up through the day, and without really knowing, I've had like 2 litres of water, because it just becomes an ingrained habit. But you've got to start somewhere. So, we best get on for morning Tai Chi and our high intensity workout. So, any questions, do let me know, as always. And if you do want a done for you meal plan, let me know and I will send it over to you. Obviously, done for you meal plans are fine, they give you a bit of ideas, but I would say that eventually, and it's just a phase. So done for you meal plan can be good, it can be plug and play, you can adapt it as you like, but eventually you've got to kind of adapt it for you. So just because, and again, this is a lesson in there in that whatever you do, diet-wise, exercise-wise, it doesn't have to be the one thing you do forever. It can just be a phase for onto the next step, to get you started, to move to the next step. Because what holds us back a lot of the time, like I said, is actually worrying about where we're going to be tomorrow rather than where we're going to be where we are today. If you can do it now, the chances are you can do it tomorrow. That's all you really need to worry about. Hope that helps. Speak soon.